timeline for every lab hereafter. Okay, time management. Okay. So first 30 minutes will be theoretical, then 20 minutes will be mandatory quiz. This quiz will be considered as your viva. Okay, and the marks will be updated in the sheet and you can see the marks, okay, in live. And last 1 hour is dedicated for practical. Those who finished upon showing your record of your previous experiment, you can leave the lab. Okay, in every lab you must show me last week's experiment only. Okay, if this is second lab, then you should show me the first experiment. Okay, second experiment third. So this is the rules of practicals hereafter, and mandatory practical should be done by everyone and quiz is mandatory. Okay, so coming back to the today's test, so we will do two tests simultaneously. First I will discuss about total red blood cell count, then I will discuss about total island binding capacity test. Okay, so what is this total red blood cell count? We already know all of these things. So what is the normal RBC count? 4.5 to 6. Yeah, 4.5 to 6.5 million cells per cubic millimeter of blood. Then where we will count the cells? In what area? In the central square. In the 5 small squares of central square we are counting. Right? Then what is the diluting fluid? Kay's fluid, very good. Dilution factor 1 is to 200. Keep in mind, okay? Then calculation. Do I given calculation in the last year? Yes. Detailed calculation, right? N into 10 times 1 10,000. N into 10,000. That is the final value for TRBC estimation. Very good. Then decrease the RBC count is called as anemia only, right? Anemia. Increase the RBC count is called as polycythemia. Very good. What is the diameter of the RBC? Diameter of the RBC 7.2. Okay, 7.2 micrometers in diameter. Okay, very good. So you already know these things. Then what are the methods of estimation of RBC? Methods. Tell me the method names. Methods. Newport-Chalmers method, or manual method, or visual method. Okay, visual method, manual method, or Newport-Chalmers method is same, right? Then second one is automated method, automatic method. Any more methods you have? Yeah, that's it. Now this Newport-Chalmers method are further 2 types. Okay, so based on the type of dilution. Okay, we have micro dilution method and macro dilution method. What is the difference between micro and macro? So what is the procedure of micro dilution? In micro dilution we have a RBC pipette. So this is an RBC pipette. At the bottom there is a grading of 0.5 microliters, right? Then there is a mixing pump. Okay, mixing pump. Then there is a upper marking. What is upper marking of RBC pipette? 101, right? So 101 is the upper marking for RBC pipette. So what is the idea? You know what is the test procedure? We will take Kay's fluid, right? We are taking Kay's fluid plus blood sample. So first what we will do? We will give blood sample. We will draw blood sample up to 0.5 mark. Blood sample up to 0.5 mark. Then up to 101 mark we will draw the Kay's fluid, right? Then we will mix it. After mixing it, what we will do? We will charge the Newport-Chalmers and we will count the Newport-Chalmers. We will wait for 2 minutes and we will go for counting. Okay. The problem with micro dilution is you have to do the mouth pipetting, and usually we are not in favor of mouth pipetting. So we are doing it macro dilution. What is the procedure of macro dilution? Just write down the procedure or the values, very important. So what we are going to do is we are going to use the micro pipette. Okay, don't get confused. Macro dilution method using micro pipette. Okay, pipette is name is micro pipette. So what we are going to do is we will take a test tube. In this test tube, we are going to add 4 ml of Kay's fluid. We are going to add 4 ml of Cane's fluid in a test tube. Okay. We are adding 4 ml of Cane's fluid. Then we will remove 20 microliters from this test tube. We will remove 20 microliters of Cane's fluid from the test tube. We have removed. That means the overall volume of the fluid will be 3.98 microliters. Okay, ml. Okay, 3.98 ml. Got my point? Because I have removed 20 microliters from the sample. So this is 3.98. To this sample, to this Cane's fluid, now we will add 20 microliters of blood sample. That's it. Okay. Right? So we are adding 20 microliters of blood sample to the test tube. Okay. Then the important thing is homogenization, or what to say. You need to mix it properly. Okay. This blood should be homogeneously mixed throughout the sample, throughout the test tube. Okay, it should not be concentrated at the bottom, or it should not be at a corner of the sample. It should be thoroughly mixed. Okay, that mixing is very important. That mixing is the even distribution of cells. When you are not mixing this sample properly and you are going for counting, you will get a aggregated rolls formed red blood cells. Rolls formation means red blood cells will be aggregated on one top over one. Okay, one over one. So in order to eliminate such issues, we need to mix the sample properly. Okay, this step is very important. So this is how you will do. And what is the method of calculation? So you will plot 4 into 4 grid, 4 into 5 tables, right? So you will plot 4 into 4 tables. Okay. Then you will start whatever counted under the microscope. You will write the numbers here. Okay. The count, sum of all, that will be your n value. If it is 280, sum of all is 280 into 10,000, and that will be the RBC count in million. Okay. This is how you will perform the test. You have to count manually. This is very tough actually. Yes, Muskan. This one. So always we are saying this one. You already know the point. What we say, we are counting the cells in the central square. In central square overall has been divided into 5 into 5 grid. That we know. Am I correct? It is a 5 into 5 grid. When we say each small square is 4 into 4 grid. Do you remember? So where we are counting in central square, we are counting in here and here plus central square, right? 4 corner and central square. These are the 5 squares. Okay, 4 into 4 grid 5. Okay, so we are counting all these areas. We got the n value. N is total number of cells counted into 10,000. We will get a value. Okay. The first and foremost thing is proper homogenization or proper mixing, then going for counting. Okay. It will take time, but you need to count it. So far, no one has counted properly for past 1 year in this Amanda. Try to count the cells. Okay. At least try to count one box properly. Then we can guess others. Okay. Try to count at least one box. Okay. 1 square I mean. Is it clear? This is all about the total red blood cell count. With micropipette only. Nothing happens. Because blood drop is very less compared to the volume. Okay, so there won't be any hemolysis. No need to worry. Okay, if it's a pure blood and you are doing that, there is a chance of hemolysis. Okay, coming back to the total iron binding capacity test. So before understanding the total iron binding capacity, 1 second. It's too steep. Okay. Total iron binding capacity test. Almost, apart from our normal tests like TRBC, WBC, platelet, TSR, PCV, all other tests in HAMAT are based on colorimetric method actually. I hope you already know what is colorimetric method. You must know it. Okay, that's why we have a dedicated subject to it, right? So what is the principle of colorimetry? Colorimeter? BSN Lambert's law. So what is the significance of BSN Lambert's law? Yeah. Tell me. Quick. You should be sharp like this. Yeah, very good. So the intensity of the colored solution is directly proportional to the concentration of that substance present in the colored solution. Okay. So if there are 100 molecules of turmeric powder, deep yellow color, 50 molecules, pale yellow color, 2 molecules, very pale. Okay, light yellow color. So yeah, that's it. That is base Lambert's law. We already know. How we are measuring base Lambert's law? What are the parameters we need to obtain to derive the calculation? Tell me now. Yes. Tell me the formula of base Lambert's law. Yes. So in base Lambert's law, adsorbance, right? So adsorbance of test minus. Yeah, write down the formula of base Lambert's law. In this test also we are using base Lambert's law actually. So that is iron. First we will measure the iron in the blood. So how we will measure iron means we will measure the OD means optical density, or OD is also called as adsorbance. You already know, right? OD of test minus OD of sample blank plus blank. So I am giving a new term here, sample blank and blank. Okay, OD of sample blank and OD of blank into 100 divided by OD of sample minus OD of blank. Okay, test minus standard blank divided by standard minus blank. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. Then TIBC, total iron binding capacity formula. So the TIBC is OD of test minus OD of standard blank plus blank by OD of standard minus OD of blank. That looks like above. Then why? Okay, we have increased the this value 300. Okay. That I will see. If it's there in the principle, we will see principle, then we will understand. Then the filter. So for every colorimetric method, we have filters, right? Wavelength. So here the filter will be, or the wavelength will be 570 nm. So the filter or wavelength, lambda wavelength is 570 nanometers. Okay, 570 nanometers. So you already know, right? You need to select the filter in the colorimeter before doing all these things. First keep the filter, then go for measuring of all these things. There will be approximate ranges in the range of filters. So you can keep similar range. Okay, 542, 590 or 600. Okay, similar range filter you need to keep. That depends on the kit actually. Yeah, that's it. Your kit to kit, that is varies. Okay, so that's it. So now you understood the formula. You already know what is base Lambert's law and what is this total iron binding capacity test. So let us see the significance of this test. So this test is used for not for measuring iron. Keep in mind this iron ferrous. This test is not for measuring iron ions. This test is not going to detect iron. This is not a iron test. Keep in mind. This is about iron binding capacity test. Okay? How much iron can be binded to the serum, or how the serum or the amount of iron binded to the serum we are calculating. Why it is important? Let us see. So there is a listen. So in the diet you have taken iron. In the diet you have taken iron, and iron entered into the small intestine. In the small intestine, okay, there is a protein. That protein is called as transferrin. Okay, transferrin. This transferrin will transfer the iron molecule into the circulation, okay, into the bone marrow. Okay, iron intestine transferred to bone marrow. In the bone marrow, now it will be converted to hemoglobin, and that will be utilized as RBC with HB complex. We know that iron is indirectly participating in the oxygen carrying capacity of the red blood cell. Okay, so now what happens is, in our body there is a problem. The problem is we don't have a natural mechanism of excreting iron from the body. We don't have a mechanism of excreting iron ions. Whatever iron we are taking, that will be accumulated in the system. So we need to mitigate this issue very cautiously. Okay, when the iron is not transferring to the bone marrow, this iron will be deposited in the tissues, leading to iron toxicity. If this transfer is not working, this iron will be deposited in the tissues. That will cause a condition called iron overload. Iron overload. This iron overload will cause iron toxicity. The common problems with iron toxicity are these iron molecules will block the neurotransmitters. You just imagine your neurons are blocked. Entire system will be collapsed. Heart, brain, neurons, new movement. Arrhythmia in the heart can be happen. All these things happens because of this one. Also parallelly, iron will be deposited in the kidneys, and slowly kidneys will undergo chronic kidney failure. Okay, they will eventually, kidneys will be affected because of this iron. Okay, so iron has a deadly consequences, and we need to remove this iron from the body. So what we are doing is, we are trying to measure how much transferrin present in the body. The amount of transferrin is equal to the amount of binding capacity in the body. We are not bothering about iron. Iron always there in the body because it's not excreted. But how much we are capturing the iron, how we are transporting the iron. When we are not transporting iron properly, then that will cause an issue. Okay, how much? So this is the test. Total iron binding capacity test. How much iron can be binded to my transferrin molecule? Total iron binding capacity test. Okay, this test will give the overall efficiency of iron transferring to the RBC. Is it clear? The first and foremost thing is, this test is not about iron at all. It is about iron binding, not about iron. Iron test will be an inorganic test that will be done by flame photometry. Okay. We are not detecting iron, we are detecting only the binding capacity of the individuals. Is it clear? Yes. I think I need to tell few more points here. Keep in mind, these are important. And yes, the normal TIBC value. Write down the normal TIBC. The normal TIBC is 250 to 400 micrograms per deciliter. Normal total iron binding capacity is 200 to 400 micrograms per deciliter. This is the normal TIBC value. Normal TIBC value is 200 to 400 micrograms. Yes. Then coming to the principle of this test. Okay, principle of total iron binding capacity test. So the principle is So first we will convert Fe3+. This is the natural dietary source, Fe3+. We need to convert ferrous to ferric state, Fe2+. This ferrous to ferric conversion is mediated by some acidic medium. In the presence of acidic medium, ferrous will be converted to ferric. Okay, ferric ions. react with a reagent that is called ferrozine enzyme. Ferrozine itself is an enzyme, okay? Ferrozine, okay? Reagent ferrozine. Ferrozine, okay? Ferric ions will react with ferrozine, resulting in violet color precipitate. Violet color precipitate. The amount of precipitate is the base Lambert's law. The more the iron molecules, the more the color production. Now listen. Here, this value is giving only the iron value of the body. Now we need to check the total iron binding capacity of the body. That is the aim of the test, right? So first we got the value of the iron, then we will go with the next step where we will incubate this sample. That is there here. Yeah. So first, step 1 is identification of iron. Then step 2. In step 2, what we are going to do is we will collect the serum 0.5 ml. Then we are adding reagent to the serum. Okay, we collect the serum and we add a reagent here. And I saw a concept somewhere we will add excessive iron molecules to get the total iron binding capacity. 1 second. Mix well. What saturation is? Okay, iron precipitate. Mix well. There is another reagent that is saturating reagent. We got a precipitate in the serum. Serum has excessive iron molecules. Then to it we added this reagent. Then we waited for 10 minutes. Then what happened? To this complex here, the protein has excessively saturated with iron molecules. Then we waited 10 minutes, then it was totally binded, then the leftover, 1 second, after incubation, we got a precipitate, supernatant have leftover iron molecules, this we will discard, then here the protein has been completely saturated with whatever iron we have, and this value will be TRBC value, okay, simple. So first I got iron value, then what I did, I saturated whatever protein available in the blood sample. To that protein I have added an excessive amount of iron molecules, okay, to completely saturate the protein. Okay, how much iron molecules this protein can take? Total iron binding capacity of this protein molecule. Okay, I oversaturated. Oversaturation means I have added excessive iron molecules to the protein to see how extent it can bind the protein iron molecules. For that I have given 10 minutes of incubation time with excessive iron molecules. After this 10 minutes, I got a total iron binding, protein will be completely binded with iron molecules. Then I will take the measurement. So this measurement, this value minus this value will be TIBC value. Okay, first value minus second value will be the TIBC value. Listen. So first I came to know that patient has some 200 iron molecules. So first I came to know his iron status. Okay, these iron molecules may be representing the transferred thing. Since it is in serum, that means the iron has been already transferred in the blood. That means maybe there is a 20 grams of protein. Okay, this much protein carrying these irons. Now, what is the total binding capacity of this protein? Can this protein able to take up to 400 iron molecules? I want to see the total binding capacity of this protein. Okay, I am measuring the protein value indirectly with iron molecules. Okay, so what I did, I took this protein, this protein in the serum sample. To this serum sample, I have oversaturated with iron molecules that is present in the reagent. I have oversaturated, I have excessively added iron molecules to this protein. Okay. Then I will take the second reading. Second reading with oversaturated iron molecules. Okay. This second reading will give, for example, if it is giving 300 and my previous value is 200, 200 minus 300, that will be 100. So this will be the total iron binding capacity of this particular patient. And there is a normal range. Normal range is 200 to 400 micrograms. Okay. Is it clear? So direct, indirect, and yeah. From step 2. Listen. How can I give basic analogy? Yes, Mukta can able to lift objects, you know. Okay, he is transferring iron molecules. But I need Mukta to lift this entire bench. That is my expectation. That is the total iron binding capacity. I was calculating his overall capability. Whether Mukta can able to uphold the stress, the iron overload stress. Whether he can able to lift this bench or not. That is what we are measuring in this test. We are measuring the protein's total binding capacity. That is protein under stress. So first what I did, first I checked whether Mukta can lift a weight or not with the normal iron test. I came to know in the normal iron test, this much protein has carried this much iron molecules. So there is a protein involvement. That's why we got a OD value. We got an absorbance because there is a functional protein in the body. Mukta, lifting weight. That is, he is transferring some molecules. Now I need to assess the total capacity of Mukta. How much iron he can transfer. Okay. The total load or the total capacity of this protein to carry the molecules. That is the total iron binding capacity. Okay. Why this total iron binding capacity is significant means, as I stated previously, there is no mechanism of excreting iron from the body. So always this protein must carry some overloaded iron. Okay, then only the overall status will be normal. Okay, if this protein cannot carry excessive iron molecules, then that will be iron toxicity. Low TIBC, low TI. Okay, listen. Normal iron value does iron value is normal value, but TIBC value is low. Then this is a toxic condition only. This is what I was trying to say. When I do the normal iron test, I got a normal value. Or when I performed only iron test, I got normal value. But when I do my TIBC test, in TIBC I got less value. Okay, that means this is still, that means there is an overload of iron. Somewhere iron was overloading in the body, and that overloaded iron is not transferred back to the bone marrow. That's why I was checking my TIBC, whether my deposited iron taking back to the bone marrow or not, whether my protein is in the higher maximum functional state or not. Okay. So yes, this is a test of understanding iron capacity under stress. It is not normally carrying, we are not checking whether protein carrying iron or not. We are checking whether protein can carry excessive load of iron or not. That is called as total iron binding capacity. Low TIBC indicates iron toxicity. This test will be performed in dialysis patients, excessive hemolysis patients. Say for example, I will give one classic example. Unfortunately, I given a wrong blood to the recipient. Okay, and what will happen when I give a wrong blood group to the patient? There will be excessive red blood cell destruction. When the cells are destroyed, what happens? Iron will be released. Is my patient going to die because of the excessive iron overload? Because of hemolysis in my patient, what is the status of his TIBC? I know there is a iron load. I know there is a hemolysis leading to excessive iron. Can my patient able to bind that excess iron back to the circulation? TIBC value I need to check. Okay. If my patient TIBC is less, definitely I need to give treatment. Okay. I need to give tablets that will remove iron from the body somehow. Chelators. Rather than calcium, here the tablets will remove iron from the body from other form. Okay. In organic form. Is this clear? I'm not going to the level of biochemistry level, discussions. Actually, we need to discuss profiling ring, how iron is binded, the states of iron, ferrous, ferric, how it is binding with an organic molecule. I'm not going to discuss that. Is the surface clear? Surface level knowledge. TIBC means can a protein can able to bind with excessive iron or not? Total iron binding capacity. Okay. So this is all about total iron binding capacity test. Write down the clinical significance of TIBC. Maybe if you ask this to the Vivek sir, he can guide you very well, understanding the in biochemistry. Okay, if you want to know better, then please approach biochemist. They will give you better answers. Okay, we need to understand the pathways, and I am not good at pathways. Okay, or else I need some time to read. Okay, anyway, coming back to the clinical significance. Write down the clinical significance. It is to understand. TIBC is to understand the iron overload status in the body, the iron overload or iron poisoning in the body. Now you understood, right? TIBC will evaluate iron poisoning in the body. Iron toxicity means iron poisoning only. It is to evaluate iron poisoning in the body. Within the bracket, iron overload. This is very commonly seen in severe hemolysis conditions. This is commonly seen in severe hemolysis conditions. Severe hemolysis conditions. This is common among, next point, this is common among frequent blood transfusions. This is common among frequent blood transfusion individuals. Okay. See, maybe one patient has a thalassemia and he need to take transfusions every weekly or monthly. So definitely I need to evaluate his TIBC levels. Among frequent blood transfusions, when they are getting frequent blood transfusions, we need to check TIBC. Okay. Second one, also common among dialysis patients. Why dialysis patients? Tell me, students. In every sitting of dialysis, we will keep a blood unit. When there is a issue with volume of blood, we will introduce new blood to the dialysis patient. And we need to monitor his iron levels. We need to monitor his TIBC levels. Okay. Now listen. During this dialysis, definitely there will be an iron overload. Rather than 200 value, patient might have 300 value. To 300 value, is my TIBC, compensating 300 iron molecules. Is my TIBC value is high now. Is the value is 400 at 400 now. I need to compare the iron status with my TIBC status. When my TIBC is not appropriate to the iron level, it will be a toxic condition. Got my point? Yeah. Yes. Yes. Actually, I can understand. I'm not able to give you the biochemical knowledge to you. I didn't study it. But you understood the surface knowledge, right? What is TRBC, iron overload, and the binding capacity of this protein. There is a protein, some protein, and we are checking the protein capacity. That is iron binding capacity. That's it, of that protein. Yeah. So this is seen in dialysis patients, frequent blood donors or blood receivers. Then also seen among hemolytic anemias like sideroblastic anemia, spirocytosis, sickle cell anemia, thalassemia, G6PD. You already know the examples. Okay, that's it. That is all about TIBC. Yeah. Is there any differential diagnosis for TIBC? when we suspected a patient has a iron toxicity or this issue, TRBC issue, is there any other test other than TRBC? Can you guess the test names? That is called as differential diagnosis. So differential means we are cross comparing with other lab tests to evaluate this condition. What will be the MCV value? MCV value in low TIBC. In low TIBC, what will be the HB value? Tell me, students. It will be low. Obviously, HB will be low. Yes. Then what will be the MCV value? Mean corpuscular volume. It might be corpuscular volume. Oh yes, it might be low. It might be low or it might not change. Then what will be the MCH value in TIBC? Mean corpuscular hemoglobin. Low. Okay. MCHC. Low. Okay. Yeah. Any more differential diagnosis? Then what conditions leads to iron toxicity? What symptoms or factors lead to iron toxicity? Chemolysis we understood. Maybe dietary. If the patient don't have sufficient B12, B12 is required for iron absorption. So B12 deficiency can cause iron overload, right? That the digested iron won't be transported, so that will be loaded in the body. Okay. Yeah, this is it. Clear that TRBC means? Yes, this is all about TRBC and TRBC test.